officially live. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we want to first thank you very much for opening that door and popping outside with us. We have a very special guest, Jay Fortune from Kansas City, music producer, rapper. We are very much going to get into all of that. But before we do, I want to remind y'all, if you're popping out with us for the first time, or remind you if you're popping out with us again, we thank you for that. The We Outside Livecast, here's the long and short of it, people. We are an authentic, organic livecast. We don't have anything scripted other than the special guest that we're going to have on the show today, because anytime that we have a special guest like Jay Fortune on our show today, it is their show. If you want to be a special guest, reach out to us. It's your show. Discreet and I are just here to help facilitate that show. Our show is rooted in the hip hop culture. We all have a love for it. We interview and have conversations with visionaries, artists, musicians of all kinds. And again, as I said today, we opened that door, or I should say, Jay Fortune opened that door and joined us outside. Again, music producer, rapper out of Kansas City. I have had the privilege and honor of not only connecting with Jay, but I've literally hung out with Jay. This is a good dude, Discreet. Let me tell you, man.
I can tell.
All in the eyes. Man, I wouldn't want to open up this door for anybody else other than the likes of a Jay Fortune. We've kicked it. We've experienced live music together. We rolled 1 or 2 or 3 back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I want to hear.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, Discreet, because I'm telling you right now, as soon as I move to Kansas City, this is my guy right here. I can't wait. I can't wait to get to Kansas City because it's on and popping. And Jay, we haven't even really talked about yet the other things I'm going to be doing when I get there. So we'll talk about that here today. Maybe because it's an organic or authentic.
You know, I was about to say, who knows? It might come up. Who knows?
So we'll drop a little something We'll drop a little something. But before we go any further, Jay, this is the portion of the show where we want to kick it over to you. Take your time, no rush. Go ahead and do the people who opened that door with us today a favor and let them know in your own words who you are, what you're about, what your music's about, and then we're just gonna kick it from there, bro.
Okay. Nice to meet y'all, everybody who's watching.
Nice to meet you, Jay.
Fortune. I'm Jay Fortune. That's my rap name. JF3 is my producer's name. I'm a rapper producer. I also mix. So if you is an artist that want to come by, beat and record the same day, we can do that, you know. But I'm a rapper producer. I just try to take that to the highest level. Maybe let's say a Kanye level, I could say, you know, like I try to go on all aspects of music, whether that's rock, jazz,
sky's the limit.
Soul, sky's the limit. You know, like I just like music. I like vibration. You know what I'm saying? Good vibrations, rather. But yeah, man, I'm just a kid from Kansas City, man. Kansas City, Missouri, just trying to make my way and you know, make connections and really just see a different part of the life that I've been seeing, you know. And I feel like music can help me go see that and go get to that, actually.
Exactly.
Most definitely. But I can take this time out to shout out a couple of producers, because truth be told, I've only been at producing for about a year and a half. So like anything you've seen me do has, like, whether it's working on a beat or even a mix, like it's all been done in a year and a half mark. So I got this tape that I'm about to drop right now, a mixtape. It's called the Blue House mixtape. It's with a different group. It's a different group of people, just different variations of people just coming and, you know, just working and showing that we actually got talent in Kansas City to be shown, you know. But I only been at that for a year and a half, and this month, actually, like I said, the Blue House tape will be my first producer's tape that I've ever dropped, ever thought about dropping. It's just been wonderful, man. I've been, you know, reaping the fruits, and it's just been a ride, man. I've been to Cali a few times. I've been out of town a few times to go do music, and it's just been wonderful, bro. Like, it's just been a beautiful ride.
Man,
it is awesome doing something you love. I love it.
Most definitely.
It is like the good old saying goes: if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, right?
And
And,
mm,
and that's where it's at. I want to touch on something real quick, Jay, that you said in your opening and letting people know who you are. You mentioned, and Discreet, you and I know this very much about Kansas City already, right? But I always love to hear it from, a local, right? Kansas City has so much influence, Jay, as you had mentioned already, between rock, blues, jazz, hip hop. Kansas
mm,
City has its own sound.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Kansas City has its own sound, right? And I think, I strongly feel that Kansas City is on the precipice right now of really, really breaking out.
We're
Go
right
for
there. We're right
yeah.
there. I swear we're right there. Like, and I
it.
think really the only thing that's stopping us right now, and it sounds very cliche when I say this, but politics. That's the only thing stopping us right now. You get what I'm
I'm
saying?
not
Not to say that we
surprised.
won't be them people on top next year, but I've even just noticed, not even just from a Kansas City standpoint, but a Midwest standpoint, like a lot of Midwestern cities is getting like the credit that they kind of been reaping for, like, and yeah, I think we're next, bro. I really believe that. I really believe that, and I hope so. I
Nah,
really
I
I've
do.
always
feel it.
said to Mike that I find America's very territorial, and that sort of goes in line with it. I think.
Yeah.
Let me
Mm,
ask you this question then, because and I'm gonna keep the first question that I was gonna ask you, but since you brought that up, and it's funny because ever
mm,
since, like, I've always known of Kansas City, but I first made my way to Kansas City last June, right? I've been there probably like 6 times since, and knowing that I'm moving to Kansas City very shortly as well. I follow a lot of people in Kansas City. I follow a lot of Kansas City music groups and stuff like that. But you said it, bro. You said the politics. That's one thing I've noticed
yeah.
about Kansas City, bro. Like, the politics and, like, just the bickering. Let's call it bickering between people.
Yeah. It's
From your local and native experience, why, in your words and your thoughts, why do you think that is? Maybe it's just such a beautiful sound. Like, if people just came together in that area already, like they should have, I think Kansas City would have blown years and years and years and years ago. But it just seems like bickering. What's the beef in Kansas City, bro? Like,
I can I'm act I, honestly, I always, and this is just a Kansas City native thing, we was always, everybody knows this. If you from Kansas City, we all have this saying about the crab in the bucket mentality. And it's not really just as cliche as every other city, because everywhere got bad things, good things. Every place is of the world. But
Very true. Mm,
you know, and it's like, but Kansas City, I think the best way, this is the best way I could explain it, because I explain it to a lot of people 1,000 times a day. But in these other cities, since they've already had their time, like, let's say, for example, Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, like, these are cities that, even if they not getting the credit for the credit that they get or supposed to get right now in this timing, they've already been accredited for something. Kansas City,
mm,
I can say, like, I don't think we've ever really been accredited for nothing as a whole. The only thing that we've really just had to be accredited for was Tech Nine, and that's the only person that everybody gave us respect for. We've never
mm,
really had the respect every other city had. And with that being said, comes, like I said, politics and all kind
mm,
of different. Basically, in Chicago, in Memphis, and these other cities, you have a west side of Chicago, a west side of Memphis, a west side of here, a west
mm,
side of Indianapolis. Like, in Kansas City, it's kind of just the east side where everything is. We literally call the city the east side of Kansas City, just the east side. And it's just it's
mm.
it's just it's just crazy. And I think that's what it comes from, is our circumference. Since we so small, it's not like a lot of people have nowhere to just take off and go see something right quick and come back home and be like, oh, you know what, that's wrong. I'm not supposed to be doing this and that. Or, like, our west side of Kansas City is wealthish, like, kind of wealthy, like, in our south side of Kansas City is still kind of wealthy. It's actually kind of deteriorating, I've heard, but it's the east side is the only part of Kansas City. And I think that's what really is has been our biggest downfall. If you got
Mm.
everybody in the same bucket, we just crabs at that point, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's our biggest thing for real.
No,
Yeah.
I can appreciate that because before I ask you this next question, there's a lot of people like you had said, like Kansas City is known for tech. Kansas City's known for tech, and that's like when the general people think Kansas City, that's what they think. But there's so much more to Kansas City. I mean, you got the Popper, you got Rich the Factor,
you got Fat Tone, you got all of these.
You got
even
Dewey.
have the
You got Dewey the Blood doing things. You got people like you
Yep.
out there doing things. There's a lot of things going out there right now.
The football team.
We just don't. we just never been in a spot where we can actually, I believe, just really get the credit. And I'm not blaming nobody for that, really, except us, because we gotta put ourselves as a city. If anybody's watching this, bro, we have to put ourselves as a city like in a position to where people can actually want to look. Like, for example, I don't know how hip y'all are on this, but Milwaukee is like the biggest city in the rap scene right now. And me personally, I would have never thought a place from Wisconsin would be
Milwaukee, right?
the stronghold of the rap game. And it's because they're putting themselves on that platform together, though, like it's a collective. And that's what we got to do.
No, you're right. There's definitely strength in numbers, and I think the more people could come together in general, right? Because when it's going to be your time, it's going to be your time. If it's going to be, because here's how I feel and have always felt about hip hop, right? Always at the foundation. Anybody really knows hip hop, what it's about overcoming and survival and going through struggles and empowering yourself and a group of people through that as well. But when it's forced, I think any art for that matter, while we're talking on it, when something is forced, people are going to know, right? People are just going to know. And I think that's one thing that we see at a lot of cities that are trying to really make their come up, or people who are trying to force things. Put yourself, I hear La Russell say this a lot. And anybody that doesn't know La Russell is doing some damn thing. He is rewriting the game right now, like so much so that La Russell, for anybody that doesn't know, out of the Bay Area, for all of his shows, he does a pay what you feel, right?
Yeah.
A pay what you feel.
Offer base.
Burning Man is doing that now. The big music arts event out in Nevada that's been going on for years and years and years. And sometimes it would cost thousands of dollars to get a ticket to Burning Man. Burning Man is this year, for the first time ever, saying pay what you will to get into the show. So, one thing that I took away from following him is attract your team, attract your tribe, right?
Get your audience. Get your audience. I actually got a chance to go to the Bay and work with one of his producers that he came up with named Tope. Tope got that dope, y'all. Oh my God, bro. Tope got that dope. Y'all make sure y'all go tap in with my boy. He's in the Bay. He's making it happen, and like silently, like he's not really a boaster or nothing. But anyway, I actually got a chance to go to the Bay and work with him, and actually got a chance to meet La Russell. It's crazy because I met La Russell at I got a chance to meet him at this Thizzler badge for Mac Dre, annual thing. So we go, as Kansas. Really, it's crazy because we're going as Kansas Cityans, and we like, we're just gonna go because we just gonna go. Like, oh no, we ain't never been to the Bay. We trying to see La Russell, and that's why we was gonna go, is because La Russell's on the flyer. So we like, we ain't really tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? I swear, bro. Right? It's the craziest stuff ever. I will never forget this story, and I probably will tell this story forever. When I met La Russell, first off, when he walked in the building, he proceeded to shake everybody's hand. Anybody, like, mind you, we're in like a kind of like a backyard setting, but this backyard is a little bit bigger than his backyard. He proceeded to walk around the whole entire circumference and shake everybody's hand, including mine. So when he walked up to me and he shakes my hand, I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, like that's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know, he finished shaking everybody's hand. He come stand by us, and I think he's, blowing on a joint. So I asked him, I'm like, hey man, what's in there? What you smoking on? This is what he says. He says, whatever somebody gave me, dog, and walked off. I said, bro, he's the coolest dude ever. I said, he's the coolest dude ever. Like, oh, hey, bro, like, and that was just magical because, you know, just to also be a fan of him and you know, watch his content and watch the stuff that he pushes out to just the media and to people and the community. It's like, you know, that interaction was everything because he helped me understand again that you can't lose your humanity in anything. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's music,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle actually just said that. You know, comedy, whatever it may be, like you can't lose your humanity because when you do, that's when you start doing things that is, you know, just not of God, you know, and just of the world.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I just had to share that.
No,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
I'm happy you did, dude.
He's a lot. He's amazing.
That's damn true.
He's a special dude. He is. I'm a fan. Big fan. La Russell.
Most definitely.
All right. I'm gonna circle back to the first question that I ultimately wanted to answer you because again, we're free flowing, organic, and live. So we went down the rabbit hole, but now I'm pulling this back out. And my question to you is,
let's go.
What are your main influences when it comes to music?
I was
Right?
gonna say
Obviously,
that.
you know, you've been producing for about 1.5 years. I know you're a rapper as well.
Things you listen to as a kid as well.
Okay, so all right, I see y'all. I ain't gonna lie, we got it. Okay. So look, as a kid, I always loved music. I didn't know that I loved it. I just know that I liked it. You know, like my grandma playing music, old school blues, and my mama, you know, cleaning up around the house, and I'm hearing modern time music, millennial music, my time music, and it's just. I don't know. Music has always just got me through things. Like even when before I knew that this was my love, I used to play basketball. Like I couldn't play a basketball game or go to practice and have, you know, a good game or practice without listening to music in my headphones first. You know, and because it just I don't know, it just always did something to me. But growing up, you know, I eventually started writing rhymes because I don't know. Like I just started doing it because like I just seen I could do it one day, and I was like, oh. So I just kept going, and that was probably around 14, and by 15, I kind of realized like, yo, I got a lot of notebook paper that's been wrote on. Like I need to go ahead and let somebody hear this. So you know, and after that, you know, I actually dropped the EP when I was probably 15 or 16. I can't remember what exact age it was, but I dropped the EP, and I really did it out of just, I mean, you know, like why not? You know,
why not do it? Yes.
And from then on, I had really an epiphany with myself because you know it was a style of music that was really the style of music that it is right now. But I started realizing like I don't really enjoy talking about the stuff that I'm writing about. Like, you know, like this is the stuff that I would say in a verse or on the mic on a song and then go tell kids like, don't do this or like, and it's like, nah, I think I'm a switch it up.
Don't
You
feel
know what I'm
good
saying?
sometimes.
Like, you know, like sometimes, and then I start thinking about, you know, just the music that I listen to. I don't listen to just rugged trap aggressive music all day. Like sometimes I wake up, may listen to Bob Marley. Sometimes I might go to sleep listening to Tina Marie. Waking up the next day listening to, I don't know, anybody. And it's just I just always love music, you know, and me starting to make beats, you know, like I said 1.5 years ago, I think that's when I had my second epiphany, which was that this is what I want to do, like for my life. Like when I made my first beat, and I knew I could rap on it because I was already rapping again at that time. But you know, when I made that beat, it was like it kind of just clicked. It was so crazy. It was like the sun was beaming through the blinds, and oh my God, it was some spiritual stuff. But
it felt right.
Yeah, it felt too
No,
right.
I understand that. I totally get that shit. Sometimes you just feel like this is a moment.
You know.
Yeah.
Especially one to be cherished at that, and I I just think about that all the time. Like just that time that I made my first beat and I completed it. And
Exactly. I felt the same.
yeah. You make
You
beats.
just know. You just
he
know.
does. He does. So
Yeah.
my next question is going to be to the both of you. It's going to be to both of you
Yeah.
because the EP that I put out, Jay, to the point that you just stated, Discreet had 7 of my 8 beats. He produced 7 of the 8 beats on my Full Circle EP. Yo, this dude's bananas. This dude is bananas when it comes to beats. We call him the alien. We call him
I
the
made
alien
it
for
a
a
lot of
reason.
beats for illness as well.
So this dude's got some bangers. Discreet's got
Yeah.
some bangers. We're waiting for him to. He's got another piece of the puzzle
Oh,
or two.
that's not far away now.
So this is gonna be a question for the both of you. What was the biggest challenge? And Discreet, I'm gonna ask you this first, and then Jay, respectfully, I want you to go ahead and answer this after Discreet. What do you feel was the biggest challenge, or what would you say was the biggest challenge when you both first went into beat making? What was the biggest challenge just starting for the first time? So Discreet, I'd like you for you to answer that first, and then we're gonna kick it over to Jay for him to answer.
I would say, because on the computer screen, what I use, LMS, there's just shit, buttons, icons everywhere, right? And like I just went into it blind. I'd never done this before. And I looked at the screen and I was just like, whoa, what the like it was, you could easily just right there and then be like, fuck this shit, I ain't doing this. That looks too complicated. But I got over that, and I would say it took me a good 2 years to figure out what everything was about. Do you know what I mean? But
Like the
I
complete
wanted
ins and
to do it
outs?
so bad that I got over it. When you've got the passion to do something, you'll do anything. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of people, I reckon, would look at the computer screen for the first time and then just walk away. Actually, I've changed my mind. Do you know what I mean? But nah, that was my biggest challenge. Just thinking, what the hell does everything do? I just didn't have a clue. But once, that was it for me, I would say.
I can appreciate that. Jay, same question to you. What was your biggest challenge when you started making beats for the first time?
And to go back on what Discreet just said, yeah, them buttons is crazy.
And all the icons and
for real, I would have to say my biggest challenge would have to have been probably like he said, the computer screen, the computer screen and stuff was, a lot itself already.
Yeah,
but
I went into it blind. I'd never seen the setup of of that before.
Yeah.
So it overwhelmed me for about 10 seconds.
Well,
And
it
I
did.
thought,
It
I want to do
overwhelmed me
this.
for about probably 2 days. Like I had to
Yeah.
literally have my cousin come show me, like, this is how this worked, this and this and
Yeah.
that, to even be able to make a beat. So
I
honestly,
went on YouTube. I use YouTube
or use
tutorials.
YouTube. See, I didn't get to that point till 3 weeks, till 3 weeks later, because I had somebody right there. I was like, so it really wasn't that hard, like the buttons, because
It wasn't. It's not in the end.
Tell me.
If you've got the passion to do it, it's quite easy.
And then I
Yeah.
actually wanted to do it at that, but I think my biggest thing for real, like, was because I learned how to do samples at first. I was basically a drummer. I didn't really know how to make beats. Like I just know how to take a loop and throw drums on them, and say I made the beat because I did. I just made the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like when my cousin had told me one day as I'm sitting there making sample after sample after sample after sample, my samples are starting to sound real good. To where he like, all right, bro, you're done with that. It's time for you to start making beats from scratch. I'm like, what, bro? Anyway, like, man, come on, man. Like, watch out. I'm trying to make a sample. Give me the next track. Give me the next loop. Like, and he like, nah, like, I'm serious. Cause it's like, those loops are being played by somebody. If Drake was to find your beat or Kendrick Lamar was to get on your beat, it's like you taking away from your pie because you didn't created the product, but you didn't buy the ingredients. Like you didn't buy it. Somebody bought those for you. So when times come for the cake to be done, they're gonna want their cut, and you can't be mad. So when he put it in that perspective, it's like, man, like,
it's true.
All of the big producers that I know of that's, well off and very, very wealthy, they don't sample for real. They don't. Like, this is all original, and that's what it's called, original music. You got to know how to
Yeah.
play music, and I think that was my biggest thing, was learning how to play an original beat. Like, because
And
it's hard to not start off with something, like just have something going to get you
I,
going. You know?
I'm terrible. I love using samples, but I have got some beats as well that are all originally like that I done. And
Mhm.
sometimes I think that's probably my best stuff because that's all me.
It's all you, and
Is that
and even when like for example, like you could take a sample and throw some drums on there and edit it and chop it, but the chop and like when you take out instruments from the drum won't sound like when you take out instruments from your own original beat. Like, it's so dramatic. Like, I don't even know
yeah,
how to explain it except for showing you, you know. But
exactly.
it's yeah, original is where it's at, and that's where I'm at now with it. Like, I think the last two samples, I just did a sample for the first time in months, and I couldn't stand but to put some keys on there. I had to
Yeah.
play some keys in there myself because it was just like, I don't know, like the
Or
original is
sometimes
crazy.
you'll get a sample idea, then you use it, and then it don't sound as good as you think it was going to. You know,
And be
you
like,
don't.
what if these
It's
piano
like,
rolls
nah, this
sound,
ain't it.
man?
Actually, I've
That's
done that
happened.
quite a few times. It's like, nah, this ain't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's funny, and after I give this little story, I'm gonna ask my follow up question, because I don't produce, I rap. There's gonna be a point when I start fucking around with beats because I just love making original things as well, right? But I
Yeah,
want to be able to feel, which I'm at that point today. I want to feel confident enough in my ability to rap before I get to be like, all right, let me start fucking with some beats, right? When I have the
yeah,
downtime, right? So I can appreciate what you guys are talking about because I had the pleasure and privilege when I was in Kansas City a couple months ago. I was at Strangeland, and I was in the studio with X-Rated and Matt Phoenix, who's a producer, engineer, and rapper as well on Strange Music. And it was wild because X essentially had this beat idea in his head. And then, bro, and then like and again, being a rapper, I appreciate when I get to see and experience somebody like X-Rated and his caliber
fucking
getting in the booth and put a song together.
crazy.
But I'll tell you this right now, taking from what he had in his head, communicating that to his producer on this track, Matt Phoenix, and then Matt Phoenix literally building it right in front of
Played
me.
it. Oh my
To what you were
god.
talking about, Jay, like he busted out the keys, added some keys to it. Then X-Rated was like, "Yeah, I want a scratch in there." So then Matt Phoenix walks over to his
Yeah,
turntable, adds the
brother.
scratch, and I just see, like you were saying, all these ingredients being put together,
Mm.
and then X goes and lays his
And then, bro, like
You're never gonna
bro,
forget that.
that process is crazy, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, like,
that
oh man.
was that was an eye-opening experience to me because I knew of that, right? But it's a whole different experience when you literally watch it
you
unfold.
It
you know that scene. I bet you can play that in your head whenever you want.
Oh, easily.
over
And
and over.
Yeah,
and you know
yeah.
what I want, you
You're never
literally
gonna
want to know what
forget
I
it.
did the rest of the time that I was at Strangeland for like that day and a half afterwards. I
Yeah,
was so inspired. I was so inspired. I had my rhyme book with me, and I just wrote. Anytime I had some downtime at Strangeland, I
yeah,
was sitting on the couch just writing to shit I was making up in my head. Like it's just to
yeah,
no beat. I was just so inspired by what I had experienced there. It was
yeah.
crazy. And I tell that story to ask you both this time,
Yeah.
Jay. I'm going to have you answer this first. From what you talked about before I went and shared my story there, how much easier do you feel it has become for you as a producer once you learn the original aspects of building your own completely original beat versus that of a sample? How easier has it become for you? And then Discreet, I want you to answer that question when Jay's done as well.
um truth be told,
Mm.
it's actually been too easy. Like this tape that I just completed that I'm about to let loose probably within the next week or two. Probably within the next week or two.
All right, you
But
heard it here first, people. The Blue House.
The
tape
Blue House tape
Exactly.
coming out
coming from Jay Fortune in about a
very
week or
recent.
two.
Stay
Can't
tuned.
wait.
A lot of y'all favorite artists is on there. You hear me?
Kid.
But it's been too easy. Like for December, from really January, honestly, but from December all the way back, that's all I've been really working on this whole year and a half or a year, is trying to get somebody on my beat, man. Like, and it's been hard because it's like you gotta have that vibe. Like they gotta feel the same vibe that you feel with the beat, and it's hard for them to do that when you're in this house and I'm in this house. We have two different energies going on in the house. It's two different places we listening to the beat. We probably listen through a phone. I probably listen through a speaker. Like it means everything. But this
Yeah, you
tape,
can't be
I
listening to a
recently just
beat
did
for a
it. I've been
phone,
cooking
man.
up on the spot. So like the beats I've been making has been in the house. They seen me make them. They caught the same. We all caught the same vibe from it. So as soon as I get done, they like, oh, load it up. Come on. And I'm like, I'm just now finishing. Like, okay, come on, let's load it up then. Like, cause I'm already in the beat, you know.
Yep.
And it's
You're
been
there.
so much easier, so much easier. Like, I don't even think I would do a project with anybody if we're not intimately in the same area. Like, from what I just experienced, and
No, I get that.
That makes a lot of sense. And Discreet, I'm gonna have you answer that. I'm gonna speak my quick piece on that too as well. But Discreet, go ahead and answer how, once you really understood, Discreet, how to build your own original sounds, like how much easier did producing become for you?
Like, so much easier. So much easier. But it's harder than using samples because I find, I mean, we've all got different ears and what we hear and stuff. And I can be almost too, like, I'll hear something and I think, yeah, that's it. And then I'm like, oh no, that sounds a bit better. And then I'll be like, I'm in an R in between the two, and I can sort of trip myself up sometimes. You know what I mean? So I don't know, trying to be too perfect, I think. But yeah, it's just, I mean, every time you learn something new, and sometimes it can be mind blown and totally change the way you make something. So yeah, along the way, there's been so many things that have just been like, whoa, that's going to make my life easier. But I love it. I can't wait to get back into it. It's not far away now.
I agree with you guys because I'll share my story on the rapping side of things, right? Like my EP, Discreet, you know this.
Yeah.
My Full Circle EP that I put out in October, that was for me. That was built by me.
I remember you telling me that.
Right, Jay? And it was cool because, again, like you had said earlier on in the conversation, Jay, like when you dropped your EP at 15, 16 years of age, you were like, I just knew I could do it. And I just wanted to see what that really meant, right? And that's what it was for me as well. I needed to just put out this Full Circle EP for me because it was my jumping off point, right? Because I've always, since I was 8 years old, I wanted to do this, man. And then life just went in so many different directions. But it wasn't really until going through that whole process myself, because, like, for example, like, I wasn't produced. I would send some shit to Discreet. Again, he had 7 to the 8 beats. So Discreet, what are your thoughts? I want your thoughts on this, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't really producing. It was just like, hey, I hear you, fix this, change this, too many words here, breath control here. And like, it wasn't until like I didn't have my epiphany as a rapper, like you guys as producers had, until I got with Jay Peasy. Shout out to Jay Peasy, right? And
I could only help so much because I don't actually rap, and I feel like that's a big part. I think, me telling you what's wrong and what's not when I don't even rap myself. I found that a little bit difficult, but
no, I can appreciate that, Discreet.
I love listening to it.
I think what was different between and getting to work with Jay Peasy was he has the classical training when it comes to instruments and music, right? So like I was able to go through this, and it was a 2-month process, 2 months to get this track the way that we wanted to, because I had never been produced, right? So like a lot of stuff that he was saying, I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. Like in the sense of like, true structure, like how to structure an actual song, channeling the feels of it. right? And literally, there was at one point, and this is funny. I'm gonna give a little quick context too. Jay Peasy had heard my Letter to the West track, okay, and he had seen the video. And before him and I started working on this track that's coming out March 13th officially, Jay Peasy was like, "Yo," he's like, I'm feeling this." He's like, "I love your delivery on this," and blah blah blah. He was giving me a little bit of credit, and at one point I was doing so bad on working with him on this song because we were speaking two different languages. Like I went to Barnes and Noble and bought a book on music theory and started reading a book on music theory so I could try to understand what the fuck he was saying, right? And I remember this conversation. He called me up one day after I sent him something that I had done on this beat, and he goes, bro, I'm like, he gave me the business, bro. He's like, and you went and made a video? What is wrong with you? And like, I didn't call him back for 2 days, Jay. For 2 days, bro. I was just like, I didn't know how to take it.
He like, yo.
And it was a 2 month. Yo, for real. And it was a 2-month process that I went on in making this track. And it was worth it. Like that 2 months sucked in its own right, but it was so glorious because at the end of 2 months, when it finally clicked for me, like the things he was talking about and structure and understanding breath controlled and all the nuances, right? All the nuances that go into rapping. I will tell you the biggest compliment I've ever been paid. He called me up after I hit this shit. And like the word, he was like, yo, bro, he's like, you gas. He was like taken aback at what I had done to this track. And he goes, now you are a rapper.
Now yeah.
Bro, I was like, wow. And I say that to say this. I agree with you guys. Once you understand the nuances of the craft that you're doing, and whether it's producing, rapping, being an artist, I agree with you guys. I feel it becomes easier, almost too easy to the point
where you just start getting things.
Yes.
You understand them.
So much more. Like once, I think the biggest takeaway that I learned from working with Jay Peasy in that 2-month process, other than the structure itself, breath control.
Yeah.
Because you can really feel and really channel that energy now the way that you really need to, and give yourself those pauses when you need to, or you can manipulate words or a bar in a way that I had no idea how to do in the past. It was just, in a way, I'll just call it like this: rap as fast as I can and hope that I'm staying on beat, right?
And they rhyme, and the words rhyme.
And they rhyme. That's all I was looking for in the beginning.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it when it comes down to it. So I wanted to share that with you because I can appreciate both of you for saying what you said from the other side of the studio as the rapper side of things as well. So that's going to lead me to my next question, because Jay, you rap as well. Bro. So I always ask people, we asked this of Jay Peasy as well when he was on way back when. Do you have a preference? Do you have a favorite, rapping or producing, or is it two so separate things for you that you can't even really say one's more of a favorite than the other because they're just so in their own separate lanes as much as they intertwine, if you know what I mean by that question?
All right, so let me answer the rap. All right, so rap side, I heard this man's song on the radio at 10 years old. At 10 years old, bro. Like riding in the car, getting dropped off to the gym by my mom's. And when the song came on, I told my mom, I said, hey man, turn this up. Like, I don't know why What's telling me to tell you to turn this up, but turn this up. And when she turned it up, I remember getting out the car saying, this is the greatest rapper to ever live. And I didn't know why. I just knew that this was the greatest rapper at 10 years old. It was Kendrick Lamar, Swimming Pools.
No way.
That was the song
that is out of the song. That is a brilliant
on the radio.
song.
And from then on, he's been my favorite rapper, my favorite artist. Like, literally. Like, and it's crazy because he's about to perform at the Super Bowl. And man, bro.
In Kansas City.
Bro,
no, not in Kansas City, in New Orleans, isn't it?
Nola is lit today. Nola's been lit all week long, man.
That Swimming Pools track is awesome, though.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm ready to see my boy, man. But that's my favorite rapper. And I actually
Oh,
have
man.
another favorite rapper. He's from actually here. And his name is he go by Juby Truth. And y'all get up on him. Bro, he's amazing, bro. He makes all type of music. He is a phenomenal lyricist. But yeah, those are two people I look up to, man, when it comes to this music. And on the producers level, I'm gonna have to give it to two more people whole time. Kanye, of course, the GOAT. He's just the GOAT, bro. Like everybody knows this is why he's the GOAT. We don't have to go into why. Kanye is the GOAT. You hear me? Of producing and rapping. That's just
I would dub him the Howard Hughes of producing, because that dude is a genius, but that dude be coming out and does some and says some crazy shit sometimes.
It'd be like,
bro.
What? Like, bro. But then this next guy I actually just got put up on game about him and his contribution to hip hop. But Lex Luger, this is producer named Lex Luger. He basically made the whole sound that we live off today right now. Like, and yeah, they got to give him that credit, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be hearing the music that I grew up on. Like,
damn.
No, I agree, because I think it's important, and that's one thing that we always try to do when we're on the show, whether it's on our Sunday shows with special guests or certainly on our Friday shows when we talk about hip hop history. Like,
I'm sure we've spoke about him in hip hop history before.
Oh no, we definitely have, and we talked about this dude last week, Discreet too, like Eazy-E. Eazy-E, I don't think gets enough credit for listening to a lot of the people that we listen to today in the sound. Very similar, Jake, to what you said about Lex Luger on the producer side. Like
it's a lot to do with his unfortunate passing, really. I think because there's a whole generation where he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
But he was such a big influence. He was such a big influence that I think to your point, that he, because he's not around, that people are so far removed. And also, again, I think hip hop is a culture, and you heard people like Redman come out and say it, Snoop, and anybody and their mother and their father have come out and said, like, why does not hip hop celebrate their OGs like rock does, for example, right? Like, I mean,
you know why I think, though, honestly? I mean, I wouldn't say we don't. It's just, it's a competitive sport. It's like, that's like saying, like, we don't honor the NBA or in it. Nah, it's a lot of heavy hitters, my guy. And it's only 3 people that we all know is the greatest basketball players ever. And that's LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan. Like, that's just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, it's just a competitive sport. And I think a lot of people, that's what I respect Kendrick for, really, this whole last year, the stuff that happened and stuff, is because he's bringing back competitiveness to rap, because that's what it is. It's a competitive sport. You're supposed to get in the booth, and it don't matter if it's your homie or somebody you really don't like in real life. If y'all on a song together, you're supposed to try to out-rap that man. You're supposed to if you making a beat with this person, you're supposed to try to make your beat way harder than his. Like, and I don't know. I feel like it's just a competitive sport, and people are taking the competitiveness out of it, man. Like, you supposed to not know who the best rapper, because it's supposed to be that many best rappers around here.
Yes, it needs to be subjective.
There needs to be some arguments,
and it's like, I feel like, that golden era, like, that's why I was the golden era of hip hop, is because in the 90s you couldn't really just be like, this is the best rapper. Even with the 2, Biggie and Tupac, people still was like, nah, Biggie is, nah, Tupac is. Like, it wasn't one. It couldn't be one, because we were all that good, and I miss that. I ain't gonna lie, like, I miss that.
Well, and Discreet and I talk about that all the time, because one thing that we always talk about, Jay, that we miss, that I personally miss from that era, is with what you just mentioned there. Everybody had their own regional sound.
They own sound.
You knew where they were from. You, at least, even if you didn't know of them necessarily that well, like if one of their tracks came out on the radio, you're like, oh, I know who this is, because you knew that sound. And then
Yeah.
after the golden era, that just got lost. That just got lost. Everybody's just trying to be the same. People wanted to stream like the other ones, and what can I do to go viral, especially? But
Yeah.
I'm in strong feel, and I've shared this on the show before, that we had the golden era. And right now we're in the beginning of what I'm referring to, and anybody can take it however they want. You could run with this. I don't give a fuck, because we are living in the crystal era, right? And I mean the crystal clear era, the crystal cleara, let's call it. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Where
like that.
we're
I
going into
like that.
we're going into the crystal cleara, right? Like you're
Crystal
starting,
Clara.
because we talked about it already. We talked about the La Russells. Let's talk about somebody out of NOLA, D1. You know, these people coming out and they have their own sound, right? You are starting to know where they're coming from. They're coming with crystal clear messages in a way that we haven't seen, because they're not trying to sound like or be like anybody else.
Be like, it's really kind of reverting back to the
I hope
golden
so.
era. I've been
I
telling
hope
people
so.
this about, do you know of Griselda Records?
Yep. Oh yes.
Yes.
Bro, these guys, right, have
Exactly.
literally started the wave again.
I
Literally,
tell you what,
like,
some of the beats they rap on, man, it remind me of way back in the day.
way back in the Conductor is from here.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
bro,
And
that
another,
is crazy. Like,
I'll
Conductor
tell you
is,
another lot. Coast Contra as well. Have you heard of them? Coast Contra?
yeah, I heard of them, but
Yeah, they're crazy as well.
okay. I gotta get up on game about them, because I heard about them. I gotta get up on game about them.
Oh man, they're crazy. Honestly,
But
Coast Contra are mad.
yeah, though, man, it's Griselda, man. They
Yeah,
been doing that
Griselda
stuff for a
though.
long time, man. And Conductor,
Yeah,
he just recently did Drake's album, or did a couple of things on there, and it's so
yeah,
crazy because
yeah. Oh,
we'll get him back. I think his phone was dying. That's why he was running to a plug. So
oh,
we're
damn.
gonna get Jay back. While he's talking about the Conductor and sounding, people really coming up. I mentioned this group to you the other day because they're gonna, we're gonna be lucky enough, I believe, to have them on at some point. Hold on, here, Jay's back. Let me bring him back on. Let me bring him back
I don't know
on.
what happened.
Nah, you're all good, bro. You're all good. You were talking about Griselda, so keep on talking about Griselda and the Conductor.
Yeah.
So Conductor, he's from Kansas City and whatnot, but Kansas City, Missouri, I think. But that was the album that when Drake just released, everybody in the rap game was like, hold on, is like real rap coming back? Like, did y'all hear like Drake's album? Because we all know Drake is definitely good for producing the music that this time wants to hear. That's his perfection. That's what he does. He know how to produce music that people want to hear and the timing that it is that he's dropping it. And for him to come out with a rap album, I was like, oh yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. It's coming back. It's coming back.
It's on its way back.
It's coming back.
Well, it's really dope too, like the time that we're in, because I was talking to Discreet the other day, Jay, and you might be familiar with these individuals because they're based in Kansas City right now. I know at least High Definition, I think, is originally from Arizona, but the Unconventional Kings. They're powered by Strange Music. I forget the actual label per se that they're on. I Am Something. But they're dropping a project next Friday on Valentine's Day. And what's really dope about them is you got this dude who's a rapper. You got this older white dude, big ass beard, who rips it on the guitar. And it's like live music and rapping coming back together. With just DJ live music, and I really appreciate and love how people are starting to, again, like we talked about a few minutes ago, bringing their own sound and channeling their own sound and putting that out there as opposed to just sounding like other people. As well. And that's okay. That there's nothing wrong. We talk about authenticity, we talk about organicness. Like, the more original you are, the more likely, as an artist of any kind, I don't care what kind of artist that you are, you're going to be able to connect with fans a lot easier. as well. I mean, very similar to what
That's
you were
true.
talking about earlier, Jay, when you went out to that show in the Bay and got to meet La Russell. Like, what MC like that on a regular basis goes around and shakes the hand of every person? That's a dude who's truly trying to make a connection with
Exactly.
his fans, or
Yeah.
people that are just following him in general. And that's going to be a quick little hot take that I'm going to take real quick, and I want you guys to see if you're going to roll with me or not. The more organic and authentic you are, the more likely that you're going to have success in this. And I'm not saying, when I say success, I'm not saying that you're
True.
going to become this multi-platinum, selling rapper, producer. If you are, hey, cool, that's a dope thing. But when I say successful in music, like for me, it's being able to make a living off of it, right? Like I can just
Yeah.
sit here and say, yo, my number one job is making music and
Yeah.
going out and performing music, because I can make enough money off of that to survive, amongst the other things that I want to do as well. So that's for me personally. Everybody defines success differently. That's what I define success as a musician, right?
Yeah.
So that's my hot take. Let me know if you guys are with me on this. The more organic and authentic that you are, the more likelihood that you're going to be successful as an artist of any kind. Jay, is that something you agree or not agree with, and why?
That's something that not only that I agree with right now, but before I even had this dream, feeling, or passion, I definitely agree with. Because if, like, for example, if I was a nice person, right, and everybody likes me for being mean, though, so they like me so bad for being mean that they pay me for it,
Yeah.
So I do this to create, a residual, and support my family and all this extra stuff. And it's like, still, you get to a spot where you don't understand why people don't like you for being you, for being
Yeah.
nice. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? For just being who you actually authentically are. And I think, like, not even just music exploits it to the highest level, but even just fame, money, a lot of things, like, people think like is considered success when it's just not.
No.
Like, it's just plainly not. And that's just as bland as I can tell you, is that
It's basically, it's almost acts like a drug, doesn't it? It's like people, it's just like people want cocaine, people want fame, don't they?
literally, because
Yeah.
just like people who do that
It's
stuff,
the
it's
same
like,
effect. I think
it's
it's the same sort of thing they're chasing. You want a buzz.
that little high, the little
Yeah.
high, because like, mind you, and this is not a drug class, y'all, but
Mm.
mind you
Yeah.
though, that's why those people who do that specific drug love that drug so much. It's because it doesn't last that long. It
Yeah.
doesn't last that long. Like, that's what's
Exactly.
keeping the dopamine in their brain wanting it, is because it
Going on
doesn't
to the
last that
next
long. I
one.
gotta
Trying to
have it. I
find the
gotta have
next
it. I'm chasing
high.
this feeling,
Yeah.
and that's what fame does, bro. That's what money does. That's what anything that for real, everybody be really out here dying over and killing over and betraying over. It's like, if you just been yourself, Tyler the Creator is the perfect example. Tyler the Creator is the
Yep.
perfect example. He is so perfect at being himself. That's why he's loved, because he's perfect at being himself and with,
Exactly.
like, unapologetically. You hear me?
Yeah.
That's why people love Tyler the Creator. That's why we know Tyler the Creator and we don't have to listen to his music.
And Ricky Gervais as well, comedian. He's not a rapper, obviously. Do you know who Ricky Gervais
He
is?
gives you
He's
everything
some.
to his personality.
He
Everything.
says some crazy shit.
He said, I like, but Ryan, you right. He's so imagine being so perfect at being just yourself
Yeah.
that you can say things that's so unacceptable, and people know, like, and people believe, like, he don't believe that. Like, what?
Isn't it?
What? That is
You can tell by the look
crazy.
of their face they mean it.
And you can tell, like Dave Chappelle's a great example. Like, he can get
Oh,
on stage
100%.
and say the craziest, but he's completely 110%
He
serious.
believes
But
that. That's how he
since we all
feels.
know it's really him, it's like,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's like,
Well, because no, you're right though. Because if you are known for that, whether it's a Dave Chappelle or Ricky Gervais or anybody in general, musician, you know what you're getting when you listen or follow that person, right? So like, if
Yeah.
you can't hate on them for it, whether you agree with the way they think or what they say, that's one thing, right? That's a completely different thing. But you know what you're getting, like Kanye. Like, you know what you're
Like
getting.
Kanye.
Exactly.
You
There's
know
another
what you're
one.
getting with Kanye right now. Like, you know you're getting a crazy motherfucker, support him or not. You don't have to necessarily agree with what he's saying and hail Elon and all this shit, but you know
You know
what you're
it's
getting
his
if you're
truth.
tuning
Do
in.
you hear me? If you go try to do a song with Kanye right now, just best believe you better expect something about Donald Trump or Elon in the song. Like, that's just, hey, it's just, bro, like, and it
Yeah.
goes back full circle to even Lil Russell. You know, that's why it's important to just be yourself, because
Yeah.
Kanye is still Kanye. Tyler, the Creator, still Tyler, the Creator, because these people have just mastered the craft of being yourself. And mind you, this is not some stuff like that. Like, I'm only 23, you know, but I've had people that's 50 and 40 tell me, like, bro, I didn't learn to be myself until just now, you know. And it's like, you know, that's not an easy thing to do, but it's worth the while, bro. I know it's worth the trouble. I know it's worth the adversity. I know it's worth everything that you would get for just being your authentic self, because everybody don't like everybody, but since everybody don't like everybody, that means there's somebody out there who likes you. You know what I'm saying? Likes your craft, like who agrees with you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
No,
think Kanye would still be ranting if he ain't had people saying, like, y'all agree with that? Like, he just wouldn't. But nah, it's people who he talked to, who he respects their opinion, that's telling him, I agree with that. And, you know, like, be yourself. Just be yourself, man.
Exactly.
no, it's
Isn't it?
the best thing you could do, and I'm one of those people, Jay. Like, real talk, what you just said. You know, you met with people. You know, you met people
In
in
a
the
few
past.
minutes, I'll be back.
Nah, do your thing, discreet. Like, it wasn't really for me, I think, until you know, 3-4 years ago when I stopped drinking and I got that poison out of my mind, that I had the clear ability to really start to, who the fuck am I?
Who
And
am I?
realize, and I realized, like, for so long, I was doing things in a way that I necessarily didn't want to do, but because somebody I cared about or I loved or I thought loved me was telling me that this is the way to do it, or because society says XYZ and this is how you got to move. And I lost myself. That's a fact. I lost myself. And the moment it really like hit, like, because even when it started transitioning to be like, yo, I'm just gonna do it the way that I want and what feels right. And the people that are really around me, like the small circle of people that I keep around me, well, like, that's all that really fucking matters. And once I had that clarity, that full on clarity of like, yo, I'm just going to be me. And I don't care what anybody says, as long as I'm not out here hurting somebody or causing ill will in any way, shape, or form, then I'm just going to be fucking me. And that's been about, honestly, like 4.5, 5 years now. Being myself for 4 or 5 years at this point has given me so much more in this 4 to 5 year time period than, and I'll be 44 next month, bro, in the first damn near 39 years, 38 years of my life, bro. Like, it's wild. And I very much agree with that statement that you made, because the sooner you can understand who you truly are, and that's when you could really release your authentic self to the world, yes. But first and foremost, you have to release that unto yourself, because you have to be okay in that skin before you can share that. And that's why I always say to people, like, you know, people are like, oh man, I got to take care of my family and this and that and blah, 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 and those around. And I get that. But the first question I always ask themselves, especially if they're sifting through some shit, are you really okay with yourself? Is number one okay? Because if number one's okay, as much as I appreciate that you want to be there for your wife, your husband, your sister, your brother, your kid, your this, your that, whatever. Like, if you're not truly 100 with yourself, you really can't be or bring the best amount of value to that other person that you're helping. If you really if you can't help yourself and you're not good with yourself, what good are you? You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of truth in that. And we've definitely been talking about this for a minute in a couple different conversations today. The authenticity that you bring as an individual, it has to be first brought to yourself as that individual before you can share that authenticity with somebody else.
And
right?
That's the hardest part. Like, honestly, that's the biggest, hardest part of that process, is accepting it to yourself. Because once you accept it to yourself, like Tyler, the Creator, Kendrick, all these people, You don't care about what people got to think about you. You already told yourself this. Like, I already said I'm a bad person. So who's gonna tell me I'm a bad person?
I think that comes of age as well, not giving a fuck.
Yeah, I can say that.
No, you
I
have
can
you
definitely
have
agree
to
with
though.
that.
You have to though, and because once you could come to terms with that, the sky's really the limit, and that's
Yeah.
that's what I just experienced in going through my 100-track challenge. Like it was utilized for a couple different reasons for me, but the biggest one was Jay, what we're talking about right now in the moment. People along the way have asked me, "What's your image? What's your?" I don't fucking know. Like I'm just a dude who's got some
Yeah.
shit. Who's got some shit. I'm just me. I'm just Mikey P. Right and that's why I went through that 100-track challenge to help me understand what do I really want to speak on going forward. So those 100 tracks, every single one had a different message, but it was to help me purge anything that I've ever wanted to rap about in general or just spit it out there, because it's not necessarily going to be like an EP, an album. I'm going to just release some shit here and there. It was more so for me. But now going through that challenge, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to speak about whatever the fuck I want to
Whatever
speak
you want to,
about.
bro.
I
You
don't
had that
care anymore.
acceptance moment within yourself, like, well, shit, I seen my best, I seen my worst, it's like, this is who I am. Like, and if you don't like that,
Exactly.
so be it. Because I had already seen myself and accepted myself at worst and best. It's just that
And
simple. Like,
realizing not everyone's going to like you. That's impossible.
yeah. But because of that, that means somebody gonna like you.
Yes.
Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna agree on my mama.
Yes.
Because if everybody's not agreeing with you, that means everybody's agreeing with the same thing, which that's not true. That's not true. It's only a few. Everybody has their way of thinking, their own way of life, man.
It's
And
like my ears. I swear to God, I feel like I hear things differently to everyone else. I don't know if that's true, but I feel that way.
I do
Well,
too, though. See,
Yeah.
we agree. That
That's
quick.
human,
Like,
isn't it?
no, well,
It's
you're
human
right
nature.
because my take on what you guys just said is there's 1,000 views in this world. However many people in this world, there's 1,000 views, 1,000 views. Which one will you fucking choose? Because people are always going to look at you in a way like you can't go out and discreet to your point earlier. You can't make all 1,000 of those people like you.
No.
And that's okay because everybody's going to have a different view of you as an individual. But the one that really ultimately matters in the end is the view that you have of yourself and what you're going to portray or choose to share with people out there. And I think that's the beautiful thing about music in general, or being an artist in general as well. Once you discover, who you really are, like Jay, you were saying, and you just decide to put out what is good and what you feel comfortable with, nothing else matters because your truths are the one that's really getting out there.
You hear me? That's the only one that can affect you is your
Yep.
truth.
And
Exactly.
even if your music, and I'll use Tyler the Creator like you said earlier, I'll use him as an example. Not necessarily everybody that supports Tyler is necessarily a fan of his music, but they support what he's doing and how he's moving.
We support him though.
Right?
This is the thing. I'm the same. I don't listen to Tyler Creator, but as a person, I think he is awesome. I love the bloke. I think his personality is brilliant, but I don't listen to his music, if that makes sense.
I definitely understand because I'm the exact same way. I don't just say cut on Tyler the Creator or play it in my playlist, but every time I see him on social media and he's talking about something,
I listen.
We're listening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, man, bro, it get deep, man. It get deep. Like this music stuff get deep. Like I was just telling somebody that the other day. Like, bro, it get deep into life, and spiritual. Like, bro, that's why I take it so serious.
Man, and you have to because it's the craft. It's you're putting authentic messages out there through your music, and you have to stay true to yourself. Because otherwise, what are you doing it for, right? And that's my opinion for what it's worth.
And that's what I feel like our generation is going through right now. Is I don't think we understand like the significance and the importance of music. I think we just doing it. Like literally, it's been artists who now became millionaires off literally going in the studio and even blatantly saying in the mic, like, I'm just doing this. Like, I'm not, like, I'm just having fun. Like literally saying it in the mic on the song, like, and he's a millionaire right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's what it is, bro, is that we just feel so far away because we going back, but you know, we
True.
feel
It's like
not so far away from it.
I'm pretty sure Tekashi 69 once admitted a lot of his own music is trash. He said he's just doing it to make
He's
money.
just doing it, you know,
Yeah.
like, and you know, you can't, you know, just to each his own if you agree or disagree. Because, like I said, you know, these is paying these guys bills, you know, but it's like, but what is it really doing to people though? Like, I get that you need bills paid. You know, that's what made me stop making the music that I used to make and start
Tell you
changing
what,
it. Because it's like,
a
you know, it's not just
real
about bills.
song. A real song, like sometimes if you can make a track that can make someone cry or make multiple people cry, that's real shit, isn't it?
That's where
You know what I mean?
that's where your real money gonna come from anyway. You hear me? Anyway. But you know, the ADHD era, you know, we quick with it. We don't even like ads. We will cut a video off. I'm a Gen Zer. I'll tell you, I'll cut the ad off, cut the whole video off if
Just
they
when
make
the
me
ad
watch
comes
the
up.
I'll just
ad.
skip past it.
Like, and I think, like, you know, we just gotta go back to that significance about music, man, and just what it means to the world and culture, because that's what it is. It's culture.
Well, especially this
Exactly.
day and age that we're in, with what's going on in these United States right now, I think this is a perfect time to be sharing the right messages and, you know, standing up. You know, I think of somebody like, you know, Public Enemy, like, you know, from back in the day, like, you know, if you're really hip to what's going on in these states these days, like, I think
You're never going to see Public Enemy, anything like that again. I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine.
Bro, the fact that you just said their name, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it made me think. And I'm thinking a group to make an impact like that, I can't see it.
That's crazy. Because, yeah, Public Enemy.
That's something
crazy.
else. Public Enemy was something else, what they done.
Like,
you know,
them in this time would be like I don't know if it would be good or very bad. Like,
yeah,
bro, like,
I agree.
that would just be a very exciting time, though. And
exactly.
Imagine if we had Public Enemy and NWA right now.
The same effects like they had, like the same shit.
Well,
just like the upheaval they caused,
bro.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you this real quick. Because I think this is a perfect opportunity with the conversation that we're having and the time that we're in. I sent a discreet. You may or may not remember this discreet. I put the concept of a project together. I don't know, a year ago, maybe 15 months ago, and I sent it off to Jay Peasy, and it's the concept is called Culture Wars, right?
Yeah.
And it's from the standpoint of, because, you know, when you say the word culture, a lot of people tend just to think Black, white, Asian, Mexican, Hispanic,
race.
But people don't necessarily always look at the socioeconomic differences that cultures have as well. And I think, you know, we are very much, you know, specific to the States in a time where we could take this culture wars concept and put it together. It's when I built this concept, it's a full collaboration. It's a collaboration of people that are Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't really matter. Producers, Black, white, Asian, cats, dogs. I don't give a fuck, because everybody foundationally, we're all human beings, right? We all come from somewhere. We all have different.
Like any Trump's told you, man. There's only two genders now, right? Don't get fucking identifying as cats and dogs.
Man, but I do. I think we're at an opportunity, and where I'm going to Kansas City here in the very near future for my permanent residency going forward, and working with who I'm working with, I think there's a perfect opportunity to bring this culture wars concept together, honestly.
Mm.
And to Jay's point earlier, it's about finding the right people
The right
who
people.
are feeling that project with you, and the message behind it, as well. And getting to work with the district and Joe Black,
Yeah.
going forward, I think Kansas City is a perfect spot, to let a project like this really start to grow.
Yep.
Honestly, because there's so much to the concept of culture wars.
Yeah.
Even from country to country, like it's all encompassing, and I think it could really be broken down to something special for the right message, and at least the awareness through music of what we're
Yeah.
dealing with right now, and bringing to light some shit like a Public Enemy did, like an NWA
Yeah.
did, back in the day, and people have tried to take that mantle, through times of political uncertainty and uprisal anywhere. And I think there's a perfect opportunity for that going forward. And that's why I brought it up, because, oh man, like if there's ever been a more polarizing time than we're living in right now in the States with everything going on, please.
Bro, it hasn't been for me in my 23 years. I tell you right now, like I'm definitely just confused. I ain't gonna lie, like I don't know what the hell to expect, bro. I'm just here at this point.
I don't think anybody does, Jay. That's the crazy thing, bro. And like the closest thing, I would say that I've experienced in my life, and where I could like actually remember, would probably be the late 90s, late 80s, early 90s. When gangster rap came out, the Rodney King things were happening, that time and age. But like, I don't even know if I can equate that to what's going on right now, because there's so much change and uncertainty going on. You got random people like an Elon Musk trying to take control of like 95% of the pay accounts of the United States government. Man, that shit is unprecedented. That we are living in unprecedented times in this country right now, and we're only 3 weeks into this presidency. It's just crazy.
Dog. Oh my God.
In 3 weeks.
It feel like we 3 years in already. Like,
it's wild. But I just bring that up simply just to tie into the conversation that there are culture wars going on in this country and the world as a whole. Let's be real. I think
Trump's a bit unstoppable, though. I don't think there's no point stressing about what he's going to do. He's going to do it.
Well, he's going to do it, and I'm not going to go like too deep into a political rabbit hole right now, but I will say this. I think the whole agenda, and even before he got elected, the Project 2025 was a thing out here in the States, but I think they're just trying to hit the United States government and people with so many things that it's just like, all right, we'll pick and choose what you want to keep me from doing right now. And I think that's really the game plan. Like he's a businessman, so he knows how to play a good game of chess, and I think that's what and I think he's doing it with the wrong people, in the sense that like you're playing with people's lives, hundreds of millions of people's lives, and it's just fucked up. I'll just leave it at that.
It's crazy. The other day, just like he was having a normal conversation, he was telling this one country, "I will obliterate your whole country," and it's like, well, like pick your words a bit better, man. Do you know what I mean? Just like, people live there.
I heard a story where
people live there.
He was talking to a translator, and he told he said he was next to somebody that was like a head, bro. He was next to a top killer. Oh, a top killer. He told the translator, he said, "Tell him, listen to me. Tell him if he touch a hair on any of the Americans' heads, we're going to blow their country up."
Yeah, I think I heard about that as well. I've seen that.
The translator looked at him like this.
Like what?
He said, "Tell him." I said, "Bro."
Them words.
Bro, and he told him, bro, and it worked. I said, bro, oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude is tripping. He be tripping, man. Like,
he is.
He's truly a dude who gives no fucks. He's gonna do what he wants to do and say what he wants to say. Like,
It's like getting your fucking ass whooped by your dad in the 1980s. It's like, you know it's happening.
Yeah.
yep, they're breaking out the wooden spoon and the belt.
freedom of speech.
Yo,
He's about to get bad. I know he about to act a fool.
yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like there's a senator, somebody who's already started impeachment proceedings, as well. Like it's gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna get off my political short soapbox right quick, and we're gonna redirect. We're gonna redirect the conversation. To Jay, you obviously already mentioned that you got the Blue House tape dropping in like a week or two.
Yep.
What else?
About a week or two.
What, if anything else, you got cooking in the background right now that you might be able to share with us, or what's kind of looking to be next for you after this Blue House tape?
So I have an album that I'm working on, man. It goes back to when I was telling you, like, the type of music that I've, known that or found out that I want to make. And it's just basically like a mixture of all those different types of music and just the message that I want to get across to not only just my city or my state, but really to the world, if the world would take the time out to listen. But
many countries as possible.
Because truth be told, like, the messages that I'm a person of change, and I figured that out, and I wanted to incorporate that in my music after I figured out like what type of music I wanted to make.
I'll tell you a quick weird little fact, right? I'll quickly tell you, people. Apparently, Colombia is the place you want your music to hit because they go crazy. Apparently, that's the place. I've quickly slipped that in there.
Colombia.
Yeah, apparently. Okay. That's where a lot of music absolutely blows up. Like, one person will hear it and then they've got the whole fucking country on it.
Okay, cool. See, I like places like Colombia.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
We need more places like Colombia,
Isn't it?
Because, yeah, man, I got the album coming, the tape dropping. I got another EP with Poor Rich Pesos coming out. I think that will either be coming out this month or literally probably March 1st, if anything. But yeah, man, I'm just cooking up beats, man, waiting on my next opportunity to, broadcast it and show it to y'all, man, and give it to y'all.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Do you get to go out and perform a decent amount, Jay? To this point, I'll say personally, and I've known of you and have known you a couple months now. Performance that I've seen from you in the past, you got in the booth with DJ Rocky Montana. Shout out to DJ Rocky Montana out of KC. I've seen you get out and perform a little bit. What's your take on performing? Is that something that you're going to be looking to do a little more than you have maybe in the past? So talk about your performing and how you like to get down when you have the opportunity.
Most definitely. You will definitely see way more videos this year than the whole year that just passed. For sure. Yeah. You'll definitely see more visuals. Far as performing, I'm definitely down to perform. I'm not gonna lie. It's just I don't have a catalog yet that's thick enough for me that I feel like I can go perform at like a hype setting of parties, and actually have everybody engaging with it in a a agreeable way. Like, I wouldn't want to get on the stage and start telling everybody how they should fix their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, man, I'm just building that catalog. But honestly, I'm at a point where really I got enough songs where, I can go perform if I definitely wanted to or needed to, But yeah, that's just something I'm really just waiting on. I ain't really just full-fledged just dived into that yet, because I'm doing other stuff still.
There you go. I can appreciate that, because that's one of my big things going into this year as well. I've performed once so far, and it was, man, talk about, like, you talked about it earlier, people chasing drugs, like, talk about chasing the dragon. Like, as soon as I stepped off that stage that first time, I was like, yo, I cannot wait to go back. Yo. So, like, that especially in I'm gonna say this right now about Kansas City. I'm gonna say this, and I truly mean this about Kansas City when I say this, okay? Like they
Yeah.
say, you know, the good old saying goes around the world, oh, if you can make it, you know, New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? From anybody who is a musician of any kind, an artist of any kind, the way that they take their music so serious, and rightly so in Kansas City, and the vibe that they got going on there, when it comes to music, yo, mark my words. If you
Yeah.
can make it in Kansas City as a live performer, you can make it anywhere. Like Jay,
Yeah.
for example, bro, let's take the night that us and our ladies hooked up and we went to the Phoenix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to the Phoenix that night. You know, we were sitting, we were chopping up, we were listening to the music. Out of nowhere, we start hearing this female's voice, like, yo, and this female could sing with
Whoa!
anybody in the world. I could say that this lady would hang with anybody in the world. And we like collectively looked up at one point and we're like, yo, it's coming out of this lady's voice. And what was crazy about that discreet was
Yeah.
this lady was just, because it was an open mic session at the Phoenix every Tuesday night. They do this at the Phoenix with Rob
Yeah.
Tribb. Shout out to Rob Tribb, and his band of merry men that lay down the tunes for Tuesday night at the Phoenix. And it was just a random lady. This lady, she had to be about, I don't know, my guess would be like 60 some odd years old, give or take. Yo, she just walked out of the crowd, give her a mic, and she went
Blue.
crazy.
Blue.
No.
Crazy.
Blue.
So
Yeah.
yes, yo, Kansas City is the truth, and for sure, if you can make it in Kansas City, you can make it anywhere as an artist, and that's one of the exciting things, you know, for myself going forward. You know, hopefully in the next like 4 to 6 weeks, we'll be living there. We got a house under contract. I'm going to be working with the District Is the foundation that Joe Black has started, and I
Exciting
guess
time.
I'll drop this little gem too, as I alluded to at the beginning of the show. So, Jay, I get a call from Joe Black on Wednesday, and we're working and sifting through what my role is going to really look like. And he's like, yo, he's like, here's the deal, bro. He's like, I want you to work with the foundation. No doubt, that's what started this whole thing months back then. But Joe, also being an artist himself, he runs the District, the record label, right? So they just got a distribution deal with a very big music group. And he goes, Mike, he goes, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was like, I just don't want you to work with the District Foundation. He's like, I want you to come and basically run the label, help me run this label. I want you A&R, and I want you to be A&R with Q. Shout out to Q the Blazing Badass, who's been a guest on this live cast as well in the past. He's like, bro, I want you. He's like, and that means bringing your music in with what you're doing with music. I want you helping me. He's like, I want to bring Grammys to the District. I said, Joe, say less, bro. This is a dream come true, bro. You want me to help run a label? Come on, bro. So I'm gonna get to help kids and the youth of Kansas City and help build this foundation. But now you're telling me, Joe, that you want me to A&R and help you run the label? Come on now. And you know, anybody that doesn't know Joe Black is a staple in Kansas City and many other places. Joe Black has worked with Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Kendrick Lamar, Ludacris, Diana Ross, Evan Ross. Like, you just keep naming names. He's probably worked with him. Quincy Jones. Like, come on, bro. And you know, to be able to have that opportunity, and I say that to say this, Jay, we've already talked about it offline before. 2025 is going to be a year, bro.
Bro,
I know. Fucking right.
We called it out. I swear we called it out sitting there, bro. Oh my mama, cause like that's crazy. We called it out, bro, and it's happening. It's happening.
There's big things happening. So I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna perform a lot in Kansas City this year. So I'd hope you join me in that venture, Jay. Like I said, I mean, we got a whole basement set up, so I'm definitely, you know, gonna be doing some stuff in the basement when we move to Kansas City as far as setting up a home studio. And you know, some things. There's gonna be some things. There's gonna be some things. But there's a lot of programs that I want to bring to the district to bring money as well. So like we're connected. We're well connected, Jay, throughout the whole city of Kansas City. And I know you already are, but we're just gonna help take that to the next level.
To the
next level.
Hey, and I love that, man. You
And I'm hoping Discreet's already got his passport, so we're trying to get Discreet out here by the end of the summer. We got to get Discreet out here for October, because October 25th of this year, we're going back to Bridgeport, Connecticut, my place of origin, and we have a 10,000 seat arena that me and my brother got to fill for I can say it here. We can't say too much about it because of our NDA right now, but there's a dude who goes by a name that translates to 2 quarters, and we're doing an event. We're doing an event in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
I'm so cool, bro.
October 25th. October 25th, 2025.
Bro, I gotta come, bro. I gotta go, bro.
We have our first phone call. We have our first phone call on Thursday with him and his team.
Okay.
So Jay, we're doing some things, bro.
We're
doing some things, bro.
For y'all, man.
We're doing some things. We're doing some things because I'm, I partner with my brother Groovy Hospitality and his hospitality company, and we are bringing the hospitality company to Kansas City as well. Live events, hip hop events, private events. Like we work with WWE right now. Netflix is one of our clients. His wife was the red carpet director of the VMAs this past year. She's working right now on a project with Michael Bay, and she's working on a project with Mark Cuban right now.
That's mad.
Bro, we're doing some things. Yo, it's gonna be next level.
Not the word, y'all. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of
Man, I can't wait.
Collateral right now.
I can't wait to get to Kansas City. Like I'm just sitting here every day, like I'm doing stuff in the background, but like I just want to be there. Oh, so, man, soon enough.
Coming, bro. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm just biding my time. So no, it's going up, Jay. I am happy to have met you and you being in my life as you are, bro. You are a good, solid dude. You are the kind of people that I fuck with day in and day out, bro, because you're a real one and you're just humble.
See it in the eyes.
Man, for real. So I'm excited of what we're gonna be able to do together and how we're gonna be able to help each other out, right? Because I want to see people like you win, Jay. That's a fact, dude. And anything that's in my power to help that along the way, you got it from me. That's hands down, bro.
Yeah, he will. Mike will have your back. I know that for a fact.
I'm looking forward to it. But we're gonna start winding down here in a couple minutes. We're gonna let you send it off. But before we get to there and start to say an official goodbye to you, Jay, we're gonna play a little game. We're gonna play a little hip hop quiz.
Let's go.
Discreet has devised the "I've Got 5 on It" segment where he's gonna ask us both the same 5 questions.
Yeah.
All right. Discreet, you got to give us any parameters. Do you want us to answer immediately? Do you want to give us like a Jeopardy, like do for 10 seconds? How do you want this to play out?
Or just when you want to answer, just say I've got it, right? But there is a like little theme to it where Mike, you've got to win this because the first 2 questions, right, are going to relate to Friday's show, right?
Okay.
Where I revealed the answers, basically. So the pressure's on you. Because if Jay wins, shame on you, man. But the following 3 questions are just random hip-hop questions. Some are relating to recent stuff. Some might be related to a bit in the past. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah, when you know the answer, just say, I've got it.
So let me ask you this then. Once we have our answers, do you want us to both say like, hey, we're good and give the answer at the same time? Because I don't want Jay taking my right answers.
Well, this is the thing. You've got to get in there
Hey,
first.
because I was so over here about to start doing it. I'm like, hey, he said that about that. I'm about to, hey.
Now, whoever gets in first, and then
All right.
if they get it wrong, it goes over to the other person.
Okay. All right. Bet.
Right.
All right, Discreet.
Right.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Right. So, question 1. This is the one you should get, Mike.
Okay.
Right. On February the 3rd, 1995, the ODB released his debut single. Right. What was the name of that single?
Brooklyn Zoo.
Well, you should have said I've got it first, but
Oh, I
you
got
got
it.
in there first.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
Zoo.
Yep. So 1-0 to Mike, right?
I got that wrong anyway. I ain't gonna lie.
Question 2. On February the 4th, it was Cameron's birthday from Dipset, yeah?
Yes.
How old was Cameron on the February the 4th? You can guess, but it's a risky one, isn't it?
All right. I'm going to guess. Oh, God.
Oh, I
48?
think I know it.
Oh,
Go
sorry,
on,
sorry.
cut in,
Go
Jay.
ahead, Jay.
I
You
think
said
I know.
first.
This is just a guess. It's just a guess.
Go ahead.
24.
No, over to you, Mike.
48.
No. So you both got that wrong. He's 49. Right,
All
so
right, fair
it's
enough.
still 1-0 Mike. We'll go to question 3, all right?
All right, fair enough.
Right, Redman's new album. Have you both heard it? Muddy Waters 2?
Not the whole thing, but
No,
yes.
I didn't.
Oh, so, wow. Right, well, the single, if you think about it, this is quite easy, even to just guess it, right? But the single off it, La La La, who features on that track? You could guess it quite easily. I'll leave it at that.
I want to give my immediate guess, but hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna go my first mind. I got it.
Go on then, go say it,
I
Joe.
ain't even heard the album yet. Is it Method Man?
Yeah, see, it's
All
an
right,
easy
cool,
guess.
cool,
That's
cool,
why I tried
cool.
to make it a bit easy.
I'm like, it gotta be him.
That's 1-1.
All right, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. All right, after 3
Okay,
questions, it's
okay.
1-1. All
Right.
right, we're tied.
The
We're tied.
fourth
What do
one.
we got?
This is going back in the past a bit now. Right, what is the name of Eminem's third studio album?
Third studio album?
The third one, yes. Not right. Let me, Infinite, we're not including that.
Okay, we're not.
It's the third one after Infinite.
Oh God.
So you've got the Slim Shady LP, the Eminem LP, and then there's this third one.
The Slim Shady, then the Marshall Mathers.
Yep. And then there's a third. Well, there's not just 3. There's a lot now, but yeah, the third album.
I've got it.
Go on then, go.
The Eminem Show.
Yes.
It was called what?
The
The Eminem Show.
Because you had Slim Shady, as for our studio albums, you had the Slim Shady LP, then you had the Marshall Mathers LP. We lost them, and then the Eminem Show.
That's right.
Encore was number 4.
So that would have been 2-1 to you, Mike, and hopefully we'll get him back in a minute for the last one. And this one,
we might end up having a tie.
Well, I'm expecting both of you to be very quick off the draw because this is quite easy. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's 2-1. Final question.
2-1. It's a matter of
Jay, or you're going to lose.
Exactly. If Jay can get in there before Mike, then it'll be a tie. But this is quite easy. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
How many Grammys did Kendrick Lamar win the other day? When was it last?
I got it.
I'm gonna let go ahead.
Jay.
Go ahead, Jay.
I don't got it, but I'm about to guess though. I want to know. It's 5.
Yes, of course it is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
2.
There you go. Well, we ended in a tie today. We ended in a tie. 2-2.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Bit of fun.
I do have one more final question for Jay. And
Yeah.
this one he's going to win all in his own. Jay, I already know who you're rooting for in the Super Bowl today, right? We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles today. A rematch from 2 years ago. Chiefs are going for their first three-peat this year. We know that you're rooting for the Chiefs, all right? So my question to you is, what do you have as the final score with the Chiefs over the Philadelphia Eagles today?
Oh, okay. Now I heard they got some great defense. Now, mind you, just because we got some good offense, people think our defense is not that good, but our defense is great too.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go under 30. So I'm gonna go like 24-21.
Yo, real talk. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I'm debating, right? Yep. I'm debating whether to stay up and like keep an eye on this, but I'll have about an hour till I've got to go to bed, so I don't know whether to bother.
Discreet, who are you rooting for? You rooting for Kansas
City, man.
There you go.
Kansas City. I've got to go for Kansas City.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You do.
I'm relating to him a lot lately.
Man, I love it. Well, yes, Super Bowl is today. We got K-Dot at the halftime. We got SZA on the halftime show with him. Yo, here is all right. Let me ask this. I'm gonna ask this question to all of us. All right, I'm gonna ask this question to all of us. It's been rumored. Again, rumors are just rumors, right? We talked about the Kendrick Drake beef earlier a little bit in passing on our conversation today. Yeah. It's been rumored that K-Dot might bring out Drake to the Super Bowl halftime show today. How shocked would you be? Jay, I'm going to ask you first. How shocked would you be on a scale of 1 to 10 if Kendrick brought Drake out to the halftime show today at the Super Bowl?
Shocked, 0. Proud, 100. I would be very proud because, like, the reason why I wouldn't be shocked is because I didn't, not only just being my favorite artist, but I didn't, watch videos about the beef and, you know what I'm saying? And every time he never fails to take a moment to express to everybody, like, bro, this has nothing to do with Drake. This has nothing to do with Drake. This has nothing to do with Drake. Like,
yep. It's just like you were saying earlier, it's the competitive nature of the sport that is rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this has nothing to do with Drake, and I think, I would definitely be like I said, not shocked because he's stressed that 1,000 times. Like I'm not picking on him. He's just so happened to be the guy that's in front of this gun that I'm firing off though.
Exactly.
I don't.
He did say at one point that this was just a bit of fun at him until Drake brought out a certain track, didn't he?
Yeah, and then all gloves were off as far as what he was going to say. Discreet, how shocked would you be if
would be shocked.
Scale of 1 to 10, how shocked would you be?
10,
the lowest?
I think. 10. I'm really not expecting that to happen. That's the first I've heard of it.
No,
we've got a fourth person.
Yeah, you'll be the 10th time I've heard that one.
It's right. Me, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'd be at like a 7. I'd be like at a 7 as far as shock value because it wouldn't surprise me if for all the reasons that we kind of talked about today, everything that's been said over this almost year's beef that's been going on, like it wouldn't surprise me if because K-Dot's about the culture at the end of the day. Like the man's won 5 Grammys 3 different times, okay? And this guy's also won a Pulitzer Prize. This guy puts on for the culture. He puts on for the community. I would not be surprised in a show of solidarity in hip hop, but it would still shock me at the value of a 7. As a fan, as like just a general fan, like just a fan, I'd probably be a little annoyed from that aspect of it, but as a lover of the culture and everything that is given to me, Jay, to your point, I think I'd be proud. I think it would be a proud
I would be.
I feel like that happened.
I would have to say, like, what a man Kendrick is. Do you know what I mean? If that happened. But I don't think he's at that point with Drake. I think he hates him. I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out in about 7 hours time or so.
And that's what another thing really not that we got to bring back to the competitive sport of just being competitive. But we also got to bring back, like, after every boxing match, what do they do? Bloody Respect and all. Bloody, bloody, cuts, everything. They mad at each other. He getting mad because he elbowing them, and they still
shake each other's hands
like men at the end of the fight because we just made some history happen. Like it's a thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I really wouldn't be surprised because I know that's the type of guy bro is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is the type to call him behind closed doors.
He is the type to do that.
No, I ain't really. This was just some competitive shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a sport, bro. I'm bringing back the competitiveness of the sport, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I'd be proud, bro. Like, just to know that he's, and not because he's doing it, but because I know he got it in him. But to exploit that on a Super Bowl platform.
Yeah.
You know what that would do for our community, bro? Like, oh my God, bro, where you just got us just walking around, shoot each other in the face. Like,
exactly.
Bro. But yeah, I would be proud.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl tonight. I know, like, all the world outside of Kansas City and Philadelphia, not really.
It just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it?
I could give two fucks.
It does.
I'm looking forward to a dope game. I want it to be competitive. And yeah, I'm with you, Jay. 24-21. I got the Chiefs winning 24-21.
24-21. Hey,
I'm going to remember that.
That out, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Mike.
I know. I'll be looking out for it in the morning.
In next year, because I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy.
Someone's got to put a bet on now. Who's putting the bet on?
I don't got a bookie, and I ain't betting nothing through online. So.
Oh man,
I'll bet with you right now. I'll bet with you. Discreet.
I'm
20
scared
bucks.
to do it.
It's easy these days. Just go online. I've got apps as well, so yeah, it's dangerous.
Oh man.
I'm not a betting man, really. I just do it for fun. Like once a month, I might have a bet. But now you've got that in my head, I might have to have a look.
Why not? I think the line is still sitting at about -1.5. Right now.
I might go for correct score. I might go for correct score, 24-21. You get some money for that.
Yes, if you can hit that 24-21 exactly on the dot. I like that.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. I think I'll bet on that. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm liking that score. So we'll see what happens. We're only about 5 hours or so away, less than 5 hours away from kickoff. So I'm excited. For that. Yo, Jay, I gotta tell you, man, before we let you go, we're gonna have you close out the show, and I'll let you know how that goes. But on behalf of myself and Discreet, bro, like, for real, thank you for opening that door.
Nice meeting you, Jay,
and making the time for us today, man. As we tell everybody, you are officially a family member of the We Outside Livecast. The door is always open and unlocked for you. Anytime that you want to pop on with us, bro, you just say the word. If you got a project or a single or whatever, we're gonna definitely make sure over the next couple of weeks we're gonna throw your. Anytime I see you posting something about the Blue House tape, we're gonna make sure that we're sharing it on our stories and/or feed as appropriate. Because that's what family does, bro. We always look out for each other. So. Looking forward to that. Thank you again for taking the time. I'll be up that way soon, bro. Soon.
Can't wait, bro.
Yo, bro, I cannot wait.
Y'all.
Man. I'm excited, bro. So, with that said, bro, we're gonna let you close out the show, bro. Make sure you let everybody that's been tuning in today, whether they're watching it live with us or they're gonna hear this on the Spotify account or they catch it on the YouTube channel down the road. Let them know where they can find you and what can we expect in general from the future of Jay Fortune and JF3.
Okay. You know, my name is Jordan Fortune, y'all. Y'all can find me on social media, Facebook at JTOG Swervo. You can find me on TikTok at JSwerve3739. And you can also find me on Instagram at just J Fortune, you know, with a 3 at the end. But
I don't
I was looking
really
for you
have.
earlier and I couldn't find you.
What'd you say?
I was looking earlier and I couldn't find you, but now I know.
For sure. You hear me? For sure. But
Yeah.
that's where you can find me at. And you'll see me a lot this year, because I'll definitely be working on a lot of visuals this year. And yeah, man, I don't really have too much to say except for really, as like I said, the city, just come together. Like, whoever's watching this, if you see this in the future, or even if you're watching it right now, just know, like, it's strength in numbers, bro. Like, and that ain't got nothing to do with just our city and music and everything, but people, like, love on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, care for people, bro, because the greatest thing that you can invest into, and I learned this from a person that invested into me, but the best thing you can invest into is a person, because God's the limit after that. But I have to say, just everybody keep y'all head on straight, man. And like I said, let's start coming together, bro, so that we can actually start seeing Kansas City get our credit. Like, that's the only thing I want from the city. See us get our credit.
Man, I'm looking forward to that. And any part I can play in that, because I've told Discreet this. I don't know if I told you this, Jay, but like, the one thing that I love about Kansas City so much is, to me, it feels like my place of origin, Bridgeport, Connecticut. It really does. Like, since I left Connecticut 13, 14 years ago, almost at this point, I've not met a place like Kansas City that gives me the feels that it does. It feels like home every time I'm in the town, and it's gonna be home now. And I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic, and what we're gonna be able to accomplish together, and what's gonna come out of Kansas City in the future. We already said it earlier in the show. We're bringing more and more Grammys back to the town going forward. So.
Exactly.
Stay tuned and watch what happens next, because the town is here and the town is coming.
Most definitely.
Jay, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you so much. Discreet, as always. It's always a pleasure to share this platform with you, the Alien.
Thank you.
But y'all, everybody,
thank you, Jay. Once again,
keep your eyes out, people, for that Blue House tape coming out from Jay Fortune. More coming this way in 2025 from Jay. And y'all just got to tap in and stay tuned, because there's a lot of good things coming from all three of us going forward. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're outside, baby.
I swear to God.
Jay, go Chiefs. Good luck to everybody out there in Chiefs Nation today, because they're going for whatever you want to call it.
City's going crazy already.
The Chief Pete.
Hey, I'm about to get ready to start losing my mind myself. I'm bad.
Well, I'll be hitting you up when it's counting down and the final score is 24-21 later on today.
That's
party time in Kansas tonight.
How right we was.
Yes, sir. My brother, I'm gonna get at you soon. Discreet, I will talk to you later. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Discreet.
Definitely. Peace, guys.
All right, y'all. Be well.
Be well, man. Peace.